How has selling changed? Selling has changed in so many ways. I think the big way to understand this, to zoom out, look at the macro level, is that pre-internet, the salesperson had all the information, right? So people were willing to listen. Clients were willing to listen to the actual salesperson talk about, the information, the content, just so they can learn more to make a better informed decision. But fast forward, obviously we have the internet, and now customers are going on their own customer journey to actually research the product or service they want to buy. Some people put them 57% into the buying cycle. That was CEB, folks who wrote the Challenger Sale book. Then there's companies like Forrester or Sirius that puts them at 70, 80, even 90% into the buying cycle. So what does that mean? Is that clients are now looking for information on their own. Google said on average, people will look at 10 sources of information before deciding to call or reach out to a vendor or supplier. So customers are informed. That's the big change. That's the big shift. So then the question becomes, what do customers want today? Do they need salespeople? The answer is, yeah, they do. Because the information is so overwhelming that they don't know how to make a buying decision. I'm reminded of that study with jams, jellies, right? On day one, they put 6 flavors of jellies on a table to see how much would sell. And then they put 24 flavors on a table to see how many of those would actually sell. And as you can imagine, the one with only 6 options actually sold more, like 30%, versus the one that had 24 only sold 3%. What does that tell you? Is that people, when they have too much information, 24 flavors, are not going to make a buying decision. That's called buyer's regret. Now, buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse is when, you get mad because I shouldn't have made that decision. I shouldn't have bought that. I hate the salesperson for pressuring me into buying that. Where buyer's regret is more about, I'd rather not make a decision than make a decision and be wrong. In other words, they were like, I'd rather not make a decision because I don't want to be wrong. That's buyer's regret. So when you have too many options, customers will zoom back and not want to actually make a decision. They'll just stay with the status quo. We call that status quo bias, as you know. Now, what are customers really looking for today in you, the salesperson? Because I truly believe that the salesperson today is the unique differentiator in the market. Let me say that again. Salespeople are the differentiators in the market. Products almost look alike. Services are almost the same. We've reached this point of parity where everything almost looks alike. Very few companies can differentiate themselves on product leadership, right? And so what's happening now is there's so much information out there, so much content to go through that customers are now having a hard time figuring out what's what, which makes you, the salesperson, that much more valuable. Now, there's 3 modes of information. Brent Adamson pointed this out. The first mode is telling people what they should do. Well, nobody wants to be told what they should do or what they should buy. The second one is give them more information. Well, we know that a lot of people don't want a lot more information. They're already overwhelmed with a lot of information. Brent Adamson's point of view is that we should look at sense making. In other words, we as salespeople have to help salespeople or customers make sense of the information, make sense of what they're looking at in order for them to make a buying decision. Said another way, you and I as salespeople, we become like Sherpas, guides. We're helping customers through the buying journey to make the best decision for their situation. So think about that. We're now in a position as salespeople where we can provide valuable insight, valuable information to the customer. But here's the interesting part, my final comments. There's 3 levels of information. One is that you can give customers more information. Well, they don't really want more information. Then the next level is you can give them insight. As I define insight, information beyond the obvious. But the next level, information, insight, and then you get to impact. If you can show the customer how that product or service that you're selling can impact them or their business, then you're selling. So keep in mind that although customers today are going on their own customer journey, you, the salesperson, are more valuable than ever before.